Right, we are good. So you guys can get started.
Yeah.
It says it's live stream, so it's recording everything.
That's
All right, 5:33. Oh, are we ready? 5:33, we'll call the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting to order. We have a quorum. And with that being said, first item is approval of the meeting minutes from November.
I would like to draw where there's something not correct here.
Okay.
Holly is not currently listed. It's no dream, it will be.
Oh, it isn't currently
No,
listed.
we're gonna vote on it in March.
Oh,
and there's a
okay.
really good chance. that
Holly is an
it will be-
invasive plant,
Oh.
not Holly as a person. I think
No.
he was looking for an individual named Holly.
Holly aquifolium is, yeah, it's not listed yet.
So where does
We've
it
been
say
treating
that?
it like it's
Yeah,
listed.
Holly is now a class C weed. It is not now a class C weed according to these minutes.
So what would you like it to say then?
Um,
Because obviously she was just repeating what
yeah.
she thought you'd said. What would
Right.
you like it to say? Since it's
Holly
your
is
words.
being considered
Okay,
for a class C listing.
excellent.
Yeah, we have to have some time for the Holly growers to kind of up with a working plan for them.
Because there's people are selling it like,
Well, yeah, they are a really small number of farmers, but there is an economic impact to them. And so we need to mitigate that somehow so that they don't lose business.
Birds spread those seeds everywhere though, because they eat the berries.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's in some of our endangered habitats. It's up in the
Yeah.
Blue Mountains. It's
Got all along
it's
Chambers
everywhere.
Creek, taking
Yeah,
it
all along
out.
Chambers Creek. Yeah.
So I move that we approve the minutes as amended.
I'll second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Yes, approval. Street continues. Nice work. We have no public comment. No unfinished business. And so we roll on to new business and the election of chair and vice chair.
this would be the time where we would take a look at membership and have nominations regarding the chair or vice chair. We do it every January or whenever your first meeting is. And so is there anyone interested in being the chair? Currently, Jason's the chair and Vito's our vice chair, who've served us proudly and well for many years. Is there anybody that's interested in stepping up or stepping into a position that would like to take on those roles?
Are our two current people willing to serve again in their existing roles?
Yes. Sure.
Okay,
I'm also open.
yes, I
Yes,
know you're.
exactly,
you're
likewise.
both open. Anessa, are you interested in taking on the role of chair? No, thank you. Okay. So I hear a nomination from Alan to, I'm hearing a nomination or a motion from Alan to have Jason serve as chair and Vito as vice chair. Did I hear that?
Yes, you did.
Alan Billingsley, is there anybody that would like to second that motion?
I would.
Okay, Shelley would like to do that. So all in favor of that as a group?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? Because if you're opposed, that means you're probably stepping up.
Get your
Okay.
pen out.
All right, thank you very much for continuing your service.
And then we're on
It's
to
annual. You guys are elected annually.
Annually.
Yeah. Yeah, and all of the boards and commissions, they do that at their first meeting or their January meeting, depending on how often they meet.
for the bylaws, right?
Yeah. Part of our bylaw, or actually it's a resolution or ordinance.
Oh, is it?
Ordinance.
And now we move on to the council approved 2025 work plan.
All right, I do believe that Nikki sent this out in your packet, so hopefully you've had time to take a look at it. We did talk about this at our November meeting. And we added some topics, we moved some things around. We're actually going to do something different tonight that's in our work plan, but we're just moving it up so that we were just not having a meeting to have a meeting. So but I'll just go through it real quickly. Council reviewed this in January at a study session and actually made one suggestion for our board. And then approved it at their last meeting. So I'll just go through it and tell you kind of what's on here and if there's how it works is we, of course, work on behalf of the city council. And so if we came up with some big topic or something where we thought there might be action, I mean, if you wanted, last year we had some topics where it was really just informational, educational. We brought in some speakers and did some things. But if it was something that might be action item, we'd have to go back to the council and ask them to add it to our work program. So what they've approved is, of course, the approval of the work plan. We'll do a special event update. We're going to talk about our legacy plan. We're going to be kicking that off this year. Our legacy plan is our 20-year strategic plan and includes a 6-year CIP. Capital
expire?
May 2026. So we are going to get started in February so we can do a really nice, robust public engagement process, which is what we're going to be talking about next month. And then that way we can take advantage of things like connection newsletters, surveys, presentations, displays and things like at Farmers Market or Summerfest. So we want to be on top of that. So we're ready. So that'll be happening next month. We're actually going to do the special event update tonight because we had that ready. So we thought we'd just tick that off the list. In March, we'll be doing some community outreach. And if you can see, note that this is a special Saturday meeting. We're trying to figure out, we've had such success with our planning when we actually do our first planning out in the field where we're actually on the site. So when people are talking about whether they love or hate something, whether something's going to work or not work, when we're really out there, we can have really better conversation. Well, we wouldn't be able to do that until, June. And we really want to get going on the design work. So in the planning. So what we thought we would do is do a Saturday meeting, which is March the 8th, is the day that we picked just because of some other stuff happening. So hopefully that'll work. And then we would do a community outreach where we'll present it, but it would be hosted by you like you've done in the past. So hopefully that day works for you. But if we could check your calendars and see.
Are you thinking about having it here?
No, we'd be out at the street end on a Saturday. So the whole point is so that we could stand there and take a look at really what we're looking at, right? So, and we invite the community to be out there. And then it would be similar to what we've done in other meetings. We'd bring out like the master schematic design we had from our street end, talk a little bit about our goals, talk a little bit about why street ends are important, issues and concerns, and then come back. I think we have 2 months later, come back and here's what the options are. It's a real simple site. It's flat, it's wide, it's being kind of used now, lots of invasives. So, we're not talking about building a lot of stuff. We're really just talking about making access. So
Which one are we going to be at?
it's at Westlake Avenue. It's the one that you recommended to council and that they approved.
Okay.
Mhm. We'll send you information. No, it's on Lake Stilichum, but on the other side, yeah, on the west side. So we'll send you all that information in advance. But anyway, so that's coming up in February.
Have you
or
set the
pardon me.
date, time for that or?
Yeah, March 8th, which
Got
is,
that part.
I would say probably sometime between, I don't know, 10 and noon, 11 and noon. What do you think? What, we haven't set a
I'm feeding
time.
a pile of grandkids at 9, so.
what?
I feed a pile of grandkids at 9 every Saturday, so
So you're
10
making
on.
pancakes, so you'll be bringing
Yeah.
out a sack for all of us. I'd like a breakfast sandwich.
Not too early, it works
Yeah.
for me.
No, I would
Yeah.
say probably like maybe 11. That would be good. So it's not gonna take the whole day. And
11 to 1.
yeah, like 11 to 1 or,
Okay.
yeah. That's a good point. So I'm gonna write that now.
It always seems like when we do the on-site meetings, we get the best kind of interaction.
I agree.
feedback.
Get the right
Yeah.
people. if
Yeah.
nothing else,
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
If it's a
You
Yeah.
can see what you're looking at.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be a conversation whether we're doing it or not. It's been
Right.
It's been approved by council. It's been determined that's our first pilot project and we'll go from
There's a
there.
picture of the shore.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So obviously then the people in that community or that area are going to be notified.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go through the whole process like we normally do. We'll typically post it on site. We'll do a measurement from the site,
Right on the-
400 feet or 800 feet, whatever the posting normally is. And then we'll send a letter out to everybody saying, hey, we'll probably put it in the connections. We'll get folks out there that care. We'll set a tent up in case it's, it's rain or shine. Washington State, wear a
Snacks.
hat, put your coat on. Yeah, it'll be beautiful.
Next.
And snacks. Yes. Well, Ellen's bringing pancakes. for everyone.
If you dare.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we could set up, we could cook hot dogs or something, get the Kiwanis.
Be
to
kinda
come out.
cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So say snacks, that'll show up. So anyway, so that's gonna be March, a special meeting. If we get in the middle of all of this and we see that there's some action or something that we need to make a decision on, we could meet the end of March at our regular meeting, but we didn't want to, overdo it. So,
That's-
but right now, this would be our March meeting.
Okay.
And the reason it's early March and not, a Saturday before or after our meeting is we were just trying to back up to get it done so we could get all of the design and permitting done so that we could actually start working on it next year. Oh, maybe before next year, but permitting is always what takes forever. So that's March. April, we will do our we'll come back with some design options because that actually is almost 6-7 weeks. So maybe we're hoping to actually do the follow-up meeting. I said 2 months, it's just one, end of April. And we'll get ready for Parks Appreciation Day. Nikki will be talking to us about that. In our May meeting, we will prepare for our joint meeting with council, which is scheduled in June. And they wanted to see they actually wanted to do adopt a street end update. Is what they'd mentioned. And I said, well, we have a lot of adopt a programs. So maybe we'd do a briefing at our meeting in May on the adopt a program. And then we can share that with council the next week for when we have our joint meeting or 2 weeks from then. And so we said adopt a program because we have adopt a street. We have adopt a spot. We have one-time programs that are sort of adopt a, we've got all these different programs. So it would be kind of nice just to outline for everybody. We have one and dones. We have monthly environmental support groups that are out at Wahop Lake, other kinds of stuff. We have our Scotch Broom people, so we'll just talk about all the different adopt-a stuff that we have and how it works and how people can get more involved and really what it takes.
People want that for those street ends.
Yeah.
And then you can tell them what they can and can't do.
Yeah.
You get a group assigned.
Yeah, and the adopt a
super
street
way to
end
go.
issue, the problem that you have with adopt a street end is it's not like, well, first of all, we have very limited capacity, we have a very small staff. But the idea is once you've opened something up and you've created first of all, you open something up on a street end, you can cause damage. That's what happened the last time, right? People had good intentions and they opened everything up. Well, then we had big rains, there was runoff in the water. You don't know where the boundary lines are. But then once you've opened something up like that, now we have to empty the garbage. We have to monitor it for safety, have to assess it for risk management. Is it ADA accessible? Not all of them have to be ADA accessible, but it's just a lot to it, right? So we want it to be managed properly. So, yeah. So that's that. And then we'll have a youth council recap meeting. You and your friends can come and talk. Yeah. Oh! But just talking about, it'll be the last meeting before the end of your school year. So you guys can talk a little bit about, what worked, what didn't, what you learned, and maybe you can bring in some of your teammates to do that. We'd love to hear how your year went. So, and then June, we'll do our joint meeting with council. At the end of June, we thought we would do an update on the Nisqually Partnership Project, as well as our Park CIP update. And we're going to be doing that for council a little bit earlier this year. So we thought, love to get a 2-for-1 out of that. In July, we'll talk about historic preservation projects. We'll do an update on the H barn. We have 2 cemeteries that we're managing now. And then the cottages, which are over at Western State Hospital, which aren't technically city property, but I know the city's been working to see how they might support or even take over the cottages from the Museum Association, because the Museum Association just doesn't have the capacity to do what they need to do. Now, I don't believe the city has the capacity to do much, but anyway, so that's a conversation. The city hasn't done that yet, but they've been talking about it. Yeah, but it's a big commitment, July, we talked about that. We take August off. Typically, we have sometimes a little social party, but we're taking August off. And then in September, we'll come back with some of the climate change and urban forestry program. Hopefully that'll be more detailed with more information on the urban forestry program. And then whatever the climate change initiatives, there's a lot of things right now, even with the state legislature, all these tiny homes and extra homes, we're going to build all these things to give everybody housing, but we want to keep tree canopies. How are we going to do that? So there's a real conflict there, but how do you do it? How do you do it responsibly? So we'll be talking about that. In October, we'll bring in Deb and Elizabeth and talk about senior programs, what they're working on. And then also we have an MOU with Camp Murray, so by the end of in the fall, we should have maybe some stakeholders that maybe we've done some design work and maybe we'll have something to talk about. So we'll see how that's going. And then in November, it says youth council update. And that might be because we'll have new youth council members and maybe they can just talk about what their year is going to be like. So I'm not quite sure why that's on there, but that's what they approved. So
So there's room at the end of the year.
there's room at the end of the year. Yeah. We don't normally meet in December because of the holidays, of course. So that's that. And then the back just has all of our special events, but we're going to talk about special events in a few minutes, so you don't need to look at that. So this is what was approved by council. Again, sometimes we've moved things around a bit based on whether we're ready for the topic or the topic's ready for you early, like we're going to do tonight. There might be some special informational topic that someone, maybe something regarding holly or invasive plants, or you might want to do an update on the South Sound Wildlife Area. Those are really not a policy topic, it's more informational. So that's always fun to hear more about what's going on. All right.
Questions, thoughts, concerns?
Any big ideas that you think we might just want to think about in case we want to,
Good plan.
But there's space to fill too.
yeah, we've got a
Well,
little bit of
I'm sure.
space. Yeah. So,
It's something about, when we open up that American Lake boat launch,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna plan some sort of a big, it's here, come see, or
are you talking about the boat launch or the
the
park?
park.
Because the boat launch, yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll do some kind of a da-da-da. We did that for Harry Todd as
Yeah.
well. We
When's
had a,
that gonna be?
well, the goal is to be done by the middle of June so that it's open for the summer. So we'll probably plan something in,
Summer solstice.
when it's ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something, yeah. We like to have a party. We like to have a ribbon cutting. We want to thank the people that provided support, especially sometimes there's a little thingy over there. The folks like funders, we got several grants to do that. So, and then thank all the people that did all that hard work to make it happen. So that's what we're working on. So yeah, I would say June probably. Because it's really hard to do anything there in the summer too much because it's so busy. But, if you do it early enough in the morning, that's fun too. It doesn't usually get you bananas until later, but not probably August when it's 150 degrees. So,
Or you
Yeah.
can, Summerfest time, it's too much.
oh yeah, that's July, middle of July, July 20th. Is that Summerfest? Well, we'll talk about it. You're going to see it.
All right,
Yeah.
special event report.
All right, so the next topic we thought we would do is, we were looking at the schedule and we recently, I want to hand out a postcard for everybody. If you could go grab postcards for everybody. And anything else that you have back there that's new swaggy that's in. Special events are a really big deal. And what we do here in Lakewood, we spend a lot of time putting these events and activities together. Over the years, when we had the senior center, we that was acted more like a community center. We had arts and exercise and social programs and special speakers and referrals and a library and a computer. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So that acted like a regular. Without a senior center and without a real community center, it's hard to have ongoing programs and activities. So, but they're still hanging in there doing strong. But what we found was, and we do summer programs for kids, lots of camps and, day camp and sports camps and science camps and stuff. But what we found is that our special events really bring the whole community together. Well, I'll just get started on here. So our city council has a vision that Lakewood's a thriving community, a city with core values of family, community education, prosperity, and equitable delivery of services for all. That's our council vision. We think about that in everything that we do. And then our legacy plan talks about being a healthy and vibrant community where opportunities abound to encourage an engaged and livable community. So those things really tie together well because we really want people to feel like they are welcome and they belong in our community, but we also want them to be able to come to our activities and events, right? So, oh, look at you guys getting all your swag. Yeah. All right, so we'll hand those out. We'll hand the, yeah, so we'll do a little demonstration. You don't have to do that all today. Okay, we will do it today, but you don't have to do it all right now. Okay, she's gonna make a little bag for you all. Okay, so pay attention to the party, not to the prizes, but we'll all get you a prize before you go. But the whole point is that we really focus on doing activities and events. We get sponsorships and partnerships so that everybody's welcome at our events. People can afford to come and they feel like when they come there that this event was for them. And so we're going to talk about our special events. So the first one we had on January 11th, it was our welcome walk. It was really focused on beloved community. We kind of tied it to MLK. It was a great success. We had a speaker that came and did a presentation, but the whole idea, it was really about having a beloved community. And so the idea is that everybody was welcome. We had music and food and free stuff, which everybody loves that. But also we had different sayings, highlighting sayings that were important to Martin Luther King, and also
They're the traits of a beloved
the
community.
traits
Yeah.
of the beloved community. Thank you. And so so as people were walking around and meeting new people, we had name tags that said, "Hi, I'm Mary. I've been here for 40 years." You know, that's kind of fun. And then I see you, Janet, and it says, "Hi, I'm Janet. I've been here for 3 months." It was like my job's to say, "Oh my gosh, welcome to Lakewood. You know, I'm so glad you're here at this great park. Why don't we walk together?" Or, you know, "Isn't this a great space?" And just generally kind of make people feel welcome. We had games and arts and crafts and fun stuff like that too. And then the next, not long after that, we did a day of service. We had about 40 people at the park doing environmental restoration and planting native plants around the lake, and that was really good. But again, Martin Luther King, we all know about "I Have a Dream" speech, and that's really powerful and important. But also, he was really part of a beloved community. He wanted people to feel like they cared about their community and the community cared about them. So we're really working hard. And it's not just a day. It's kind of a campaign that we're kicking off. There's going to be special presentations, a youth-based one in February, and then in March and April, we'll have 2 presentations. And so we'll get that information out to you if you're interested in coming. You don't have to come to all. We really want individuals coming that will have the ability, not just know it themselves, but how can you take it to your community? Like maybe at your church, or maybe at your service club, or maybe at your, maybe you're from Pierce College, you know, how can you take this concept and really, you know, have it be a citywide thing? So that's what we're kind of working on. We're celebrating public art. You know, we do our signal boxes. We do about 10 a year. We're working on a mural that will be focused on our beloved community and the artists that they picked, or plus the artists that we had an artist reception, and it's the art that's out there now. And these were all tied to Louisiana, New Orleans. And I was working on this right when they had that ding dong that came driving through on New Year's Eve, which I thought was so horrific. So I kind of was featuring his New Orleans artists, but of course we do have the Super Bowl coming up too. So kind of is appropriate for that, but he's just a really amazing artist. And so his work is out here. So we have art that's here on a quarterly basis. We have an artist reception and just another way of celebrating public art. Parks Appreciation Day is coming up. We are doing that on April 26th. It's typically the last April. We've been doing it this will be our 24th year. We are a founding member of Parks Appreciation Day. Vito was part of the first one too in Metro Parks. But it's a great day to come out. We have projects. We work with community members. Those are folks in our community garden, and it's just a great way to get the parks all tidied up and ready for spring and summer. The Ray Evans Memorial Fishing Event, that is something that we do typically the week before Memorial Day in May. And Ray Evans was a really amazing man, really a humble man. He and Dottie with their Trouts Unlimited came and helped us with the event, but he was like a super big deal. He got like Medal of Honor, one of the few people that got a Medal of Honor for being from the Navy and from the Air Force. And he's got a building down in Seattle named after him, which we didn't even know. He was just the guy that tied flies for us. He was such an amazing person. But anyway, so this is an event where you can come and learn to fish. They get a fishing pole, and we're going to do it at Harry Todd this year. And last year, you know, we've kind of switched it from Harry Todd to American Lake. And again, we want to do it in neighborhoods where people can come and enjoy it. Also, American Lake is going to be under construction. John, the guy from Fish and Wildlife, who's worked with us for, I don't know, well, I'll show you. This is a great event. You get free poles and people are cleaning out your fish. So you get to catch your fish and take it home. And I'm just saying that we've been doing this. This is from 2000 and we started it actually, I think just before 2004. And there's traditions. You've got this nice man with his grandkids here. So here's 20 years of tradition, right? That's my daughter Emily on the left and our neighbor Jacob. We came. I don't think Emily quite understood that the fish wasn't sleeping. But we've, you know, it's lifelong skills. It's creating family traditions. It's really amazing things. Not everybody gets to learn to fish. So we've been doing this a long time. John, who's been with us forever, because of the budget shortages with the state, they canceled the youth fishing program. And so he retired because he could. And they eliminated his position. And so we're really now figuring out how we're going to make it happen, right? Because we want either it to be low or no cost. We want the kids to come. We want them to get a fishing pole. We want them to get, we have bait. We get lots of volunteers. So if you are interested or you have some big ideas, let us know.
Yeah.
We just learned that last week. And so, yeah, you guys always come and help.
No, why don't you ask the American Lake Improvement Club if they want to donate for fish?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Nick, you remind me of that? Okay. And there may be a service club that wants to participate, but yeah, so it doesn't cost a lot, but it's just getting all that coordination together. So we just heard last week that that's, or might have been earlier this week, but I just learned about John and maybe he'll even come out and help us because he's such a great guy, but
Was
that's,
he with Department of Fish and Wildlife?
yeah.
They have a guy who's in charge of the hatchery who's really open to helping.
Yeah, and we know where the fish come from,
Yeah.
so that's cool. But if there's someone that, yeah, we'll just have to make some new contacts that can come out and provide support. So, yeah, if you've got some resources or individuals, that'd be great, Alan, to provide some more, some new contacts. Just because, again, we always relied so much on John because he was so all about it. So we'll just have to
Yeah, he knew the people to call.
yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, John, you got it covered. Yep, okay. Yeah, so that way. Anyway, but it's a great program. We want to see that continue. Dancing in the Streets, that's using our Colonial Plaza area for a community party. We're gonna do it on a Friday, have it be more like a Friday night party. We've done Saturday afternoon parties, so we've always talked about doing a night market, so we'll kind of try it and see what people think. You know, it's always fun when the lights go on down there, and so we'll do some dancing, street dancing, and we'll have vendors, and it'll be fun. And again, it's in that Colonial Plaza area. Okay, farmers market starting up. That's our great farmers market. It'll continue at Fort Silicon Park. Starts Tuesday, June 3rd, and it ends the end of August. We have in the past gone a week or two into September, but it's just, you know, the vendors start moving away and the numbers of people really drop. It's a lot of work to do it. So we're going to really tighten it all up and stay within that period of time. But it's from 2 to 7. So again, it goes from afternoon until early in the evening. And it's on Tuesdays. You can see it's just at the park. And most of you have all been there. It's a great, great place to do. It's this September there. That's probably not okay. We have lots of farmers and food and flowers, and it's wonderful. And we really want to thank our sponsors who help make that happen. We could do the farmers market. It'd be easy, but hi. We do our farmers market, but with our sponsorship, we can do things like the Healthy Bucks. We do the WIC checks. We do our senior checks for older adults. And they let us, they help with the entertainment. We have entertainment every week and games, and it's really fun. So we're thankful for our sponsors that help make that happen. And then, of course, on Tuesdays, starting at 6:30, so you can see the connection, is that we are doing our summer concerts. You know, you might have heard Stillicum is not doing their farmers market this year. So I know that it'll probably just, and lots of people from Stillicum come to ours anyway, but they're having some budget shortfalls too, like the rest of the universe. And so they won't be doing their farmers market. They're working really hard to do a concert series. They're doing some fundraising for that. But anyway, we're going to continue ours. We're lucky that we have a LTAC fund or LTAC grant, lodging tax grant, to help support all of the entertainment. So we're going to continue. All the bands are booked, and we'll be ready to go. So we have found that, again, we're going to be doing them from June till middle of August, and it's free, and we have all kinds of people that come and all kinds of different music, and it does overlap with the farmers market. You know, some of the vendors really see increased sales. People come and stay longer, and people get their food and then come out and listen to a great show. And then Summerfest is on July 19th. It's a Saturday. It will be at Fort Silicon Park. It will be a day full of fun and festivities. You know, we have lots and lots of folks come. We plan all year for it. but it is free to attend. There'll be all kinds of great entertainment. We recognize that we still have to work really hard at letting people know that it's there and that we're promoting it. Almost all of our events and activities, you know, we do surveys at the farmer's market. We talk to our guests, and about 40% are new. You know, there's a transit community, so you can't always just say, wow, this fishing event is a tradition. Everybody knows about it. Not everybody knows we do it. Or, oh, we have the best farmer's market. They're like, where is that? It's like, it's at Fort Silicon Park. It's a great farmer's market. So like that, we have to just let people know so that they can come out. The great thing about Summerfest is everybody participates. You know, at the farmers markets, we do have different service clubs or organizations that have a week here or maybe a week there, so they get to participate. But it's at Summerfest, everybody comes out. The school districts are there, the service clubs are there, the nonprofits are there, historical societies are there. You know, all the groups can come out, and it's a great place to learn about your community and see your friends and have some fun and eat some good food and have some good entertainment. And then we have our passport. This is the old passport. But this passport's so great because inside it, it's like a map to all these fun, different activities. And so kids can try arts and sports, and they get to go. And if they go to 5, they come and get a prize, right? So, but it's really fun because you might never have gotten to do play soccer. You might never have gotten to try golf or to try CrossFit or some of those different activities. So it's great fun for everybody. We have a car show, of course, super great. Everybody loves a car show. Face painting, great music, dancing. And then, of course, our sister cities. We have a whole international festival tied with our Summerfest. And we work with sister cities and the Asian Pacific Cultural Center, some of our other partners, to have really good, some vendors around there and good food around there and lots of really wonderful entertainment. So it's great. And we're really including all of the people in our community. That is a very diverse community. And of course we have, you know, motorcycles, jumping and trampolines, hopping, and just really all kinds of fun, free entertainment. And then the balloon glow at the end. I'm not sure about the balloon glow, and we didn't budget for the drone show. Again, they're very expensive, and so we're trying to make the best use of all of our resources. We had this last few years, but we are going to see how that works for the finale of the Summerfest. The Fiesta de la Familia, again, this is going to be September 6th. This will be our 3rd year doing it at Fort Silicon Park. It started as a street festival, was a Dancing in the Streets theme, and we just started partnering with art and our friends and neighbors. But it's really a celebration of our Hispanic and Latino Latinx heritage and cultures and traditions. So it's just really wonderful. It's so fun to see the families and the kids walking around in really some cultural clothing. They're wearing, you know, things that are special to them and their families. And it's just a great way of celebrating that culture. They really feel like this event's for them. We have these big puppets that we've made, and again, good entertainment. The Mexican consulate came to our first event and was so wowed by our event and our facility and how comprehensive it was and welcome and opening it was, that they've been a partner. They've helped with promotion and partnerships. And so it's really grown to be an event that needs to be at Fort Silicon because it's a big event. We've had art from Hispanic artists, and we have an ofrenda, which is a way to celebrate your heritage and those that might have passed. So we have a place for you to bring in your own pictures, honor your family members that may have passed, as well as write little notes, and there's marigolds and lights, which are traditional to that setup and that opportunity. Truck and Tractor Day, super fun day, Fort Silicon Park, October 11th. That's a great day. It started as Truck and Tractor Day, and now it's grown to lots of other kinds of activities. Of course, we have trucks and tractors, hence the name of the event. But we also have fun things, places to take your picture, a free pumpkin patch, so you can get a free pumpkin. We do hay rides around the lake. People just love that. It's so great. And they really get to see the whole park without having, you know, it's a big area. So they get to see that. Last year, last 2 years, but last year, one of our staff members, Michelle, got a bunch of outfits and clothes and started making little setups all around the lake. So as people were driving around the lake, there were little vignettes, you know, little static displays so they could see, you know, people that, you know, pumpkin people and scarecrow people, and it's really fun. One kid said that was their favorite part of the whole ride. I got to be next to the dirt pile this year, and I will say that, you know, it started with an oops about 3 years ago. Jay had dumped a pile of dirt and forgot to move it before before Truck and Tractor Day. So I ran out that morning and got all the Tonka trucks I could find from I think Walmart or wherever store I went to, and Target. I think I went to Target, Walmart, and brought a bunch of trucks and tractors. And oh my God, you can't get these kids off this dirt pile. It was the funnest day ever. So this year we had our Partners for Parks display next to the dirt pile, and we added a bunch of buckets and pails, and oh my gosh, the kids had so much fun. In fact, it's funny because the first year I thought, oh gosh, we're not gonna, you know, we'll get about 3 of these back. And every truck and tractor, I mean, all of the dump trucks, everything stayed there. All the kids helped tidy it up at the end. It was really fun. So now we bring a dump dirt in there for the event. We don't have to upset
I
anymore.
got used at the welcome walk too. I know
Yeah.
kids romping on it again.
Yeah, it's just a super fun. Yeah, we brought the stuff out there for that, the trucks and Barbie cars and, you know, Paw Pal people or whatever that is. I don't know, but pumpkin chunking again, we do these slingshots where you get those little teeny mini pumpkins like you do for decoration, and we shoot them out at targets that are out there pumpkin chunking. And that's super fun. And then we end our event with our parade of lights. It's just been growing like crazy. Last year was a great night. You know, the school district really has embraced this event. And again, they all participate. And so we had, I think there's about 300-ish of students and families that come out just from the school district. And they all the schools are represented. They bring a bus out, look at the buses all decorated. And then they gather as classes, right? And they are so organized. We love working with them. And it's really fun. And, you know, a lot of kids have never been in a parade before. So it's really fun to be in a parade. And then we have this is like Lakeview Power and Light, or that might be Tucci Construction. And so they're all decorated, you know, the big bucket trucks. We had Jeep clubs and some like Razor side by side, all decorated. Then we have this horses and buggies, big horses and little mini horses, and they turned them into unicorns. I think we had 12 or 16 this year.
Oh, wow.
They brought a lot out, and so that's really fun too. So that's fun. And then there's our city council saying hello. And just again, you can see you know, city buses there, and some other folks are there. And then the Grinch is always a part of it. We have Santa that takes a ride on the fire truck, and so he's outside taking photos with folks. And then we have a Santa on the inside, and this is Mr. T. I don't know if you know him. He's part of the Kiwanis Club, yeah, Clover Park. And it's nice having African American Santa. You know, kids feel like Santa looks like them and their family, so that's fun too. I'm trying to make this again open and welcome to everyone. So that's it. Those are just a couple of the things that we're doing. Nikki's going to give you all before you go. They're going to get one of our tote bags. It's a beloved community tote bag. Also will be part of our summer farmers market. So you can have it for that. Got these beautiful coffee mugs to remind you about a beloved community. We've got the postcard there that has the dates of all these events I just talked about. And the flyer, what's the flyer for, Nikki?
Parks Appreciation Day.
Parks Appreciation Day will be here before you know it. We'll be bugging you about that in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So any questions?
I have a question. It's related to Fort Stella Transit.
Yeah.
Up on top.
Which
all the-
part?
oh,
I didn't get a chance.
Did you ask her?
No.
Okay.
I've been I've been out of the office
So
all
you
week.
go up the
I was
back
gonna
of
ask
the
you.
hill.
Uh-huh.
And I'm, you know, you go past the knotweed, which is a landscape landmark for me.
Yeah, oh,
The
good.
knotweed.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You come out onto the valley of the Scotch broom that burned, right?
Oh, you're talking that, yeah.
Up there. And then right there, it's mowed and there's all these flags. What is that going to be?
You know, I don't know. Because that's actually Pierce College property.
Oh.
So they may be doing, and we've been reminding them that it's their property. Now, are they flags or are they like?
It looked to me like it was a new planting.
Okay, yeah, so I bet you Pierce College is doing
Yeah,
planting. That's not the work that they did last weekend because they were planting around the lake, right? Yeah, so I would suspect, so I'll just say, over the years, we've had lots of different professors and instructors from Pierce College that have been good partners. When we did, I don't have a map here, but we used to, when we first did the Hill Ward project, we did a bunch of planting out by the, where we have like all oak and maple trees up there, and then we started planting oak trees, and they were gonna start on their end and plant oak trees.
Okay.
The problem is that they did all the work and they were taking care of it, and then summer comes where it's really hot and they didn't water them, and the students aren't there typically, and so you know, that happened for several years and the instructor goes away. So we'll have to find out about that, but I'm not sure. But we've been telling Pierce College that it's their property. They're supposed to be managing it, or they can pay us to manage it, which they never have. So I don't know what's going on. We'll have to check with Jay, but we'll find out and send that back out to everybody.
I didn't do too close, but yeah, it looked like a bunch of tree plantings to me. And they just have the flags, help identify it.
Probably where they can water it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm not saying it couldn't be something that we're working on, but it,
Yeah, ask Jay. I'll ask him.
yeah, we'll check in with him on that. So
Any
any other questions? Uh-huh.
On the park projects, I read Suburban Times and John's report every week.
Good.
But it would be nice to see a look ahead and accomplishments for the parks. Because that's one thing I'm familiar with is that our contractors always had a 3-week look ahead. And I see that American Lake Park is on schedule and there's maybe a one-liner that what you're working on, but is that all that's happening? Just out
Yeah.
of curiosity, I know that it takes a little bit more effort to do like what's been accomplished, but in that we've got like 4 or 5 more months to go. Our neighborhood is lacking a playground, so there's no access to that playground at this point, so it'd be nice to know when people can, because people always ask. and
Yeah.
they're
Well,
wondering-
just so, yeah, you weren't here at the beginning. It won't be open till probably middle of June.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
when
okay.
it's, yeah. I mean, that's when the park is supposed to be done. So I don't know if they're gonna open an area up before
Oh,
they
I
open
wasn't
everything.
looking. because
No,
that's-
I know that. So, John has asked us to give him an update as to what's happening there. So in his weekly things, we would, if there's something new happening, like, oh, we're working on the bathroom now, or, oh, yeah. So, but because you can see all the public works things that are going, street projects, and then in all of our projects, we're really just kind of giving an update if something's changed. Like several of our stuff, it's sitting in permitting. So it's like, we're in permitting, we're in permitting, we're in permitting. So, unless there's something new that's changed, but those will change a bit as like we just started Wards Lake. So
Yes.
kind of says, hey, this is what we're working on. And I think a couple of weeks ago, we did a bigger one for American Lake, but now we're just kind of talking about what we're working on. So,
Okay.
yeah, but there's just not enough space to do all of that for that. But we could take a look at maybe sending something if for the American Lake Neighborhood Association or something.
No,
Improvement Club?
the American Lake is,
Not American Lake Improvement Club. I'm talking about the Lake City.
oh, the Lake City.
Lake City,
yeah.
Yeah.
We meet only every other month now.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
it's- yeah.
But anyway, so people
We
are
have
asking, it's
Facebook. We
mid-June.
do have Facebook.
Yeah.
So we could put that to the neighborhood association.
Yeah. So there's lots of projects happening.
The other, I'm late, but at least I had questions. The Lake City, school area and this school department and the city, have they got any agreements going forward at this point or?
No, I know that, and Ryan Pearson, I don't know if he's still on, but he's a real advocate for doing some work in there and he's brought that up. And the city did have one of their desserts in the driveway meetings
Right.
there. So, there's no MOU. We are starting and, we're gonna be starting work soon with our legacy plan. And that's really the space, the document and the opportunity. Maybe we could even have a meeting out there on site because there'll be a real robust community engagement process and that's the whole city. But of course, folks that live next to this park really want to know what's going on in this park. And the folks that live by here want to know what's going on there. So that's really the place to talk about what should it be or what could it be? What kind of resources does that gonna take? What kind of maintenance would that take? What kind of liability is there? Is it that we need a playground or do you need a cribbage pitch, right? Because, or cribbage, not cribbage,
Cricket.
cricket, thank you. We have two different cricket groups that wanna, book
Yeah.
cricket pitches out at Fort Steilacoom, and it's like, gosh, that's a commitment, right? It doesn't take a lot, but it is a new use. So is that where it needs to be? Or maybe Lake City would be a great place to do that, right? Where you can have a men's and a women's if there's enough space. So that, where are we gonna do a spray park? Where are we gonna do a downtown park? So those conversations will happen, but there's no MOU at this point for that, but there's certainly been some conversation for sure. At least the space is open for people to use, so that's
Yes.
a step
It's
forward.
just a little rocky and
Oh,
rock
yeah,
and roll.
Yeah. It's an open space. It's an undeveloped open space. Kind of like Edgewater. That's good. Thank you, though. Appreciate that. Anybody else have any questions?
One more.
Mary,
How about tree maintenance?
Oh,
I saw that Tiffany was here last month and I wasn't here. But I have seen on Facebook where people are now questioning, well, I don't need a permit for taking a tree out. So I respond, but I'm getting concerned that.
They
this-
do need.
Yeah, I know. But the tree maintenance on veterans, the trees are growing, they're maybe 2.5 inches in diameter now. And they're getting to the point that if we don't do some maintenance on them, taking some of the branches out and starting to form them, then we're gonna be in slight trouble because cuts are gonna be too big for the trees.
Oh, I.
So, I don't know who's responsible. I'd say, yeah.
Yeah,
We
so-
haven't gotten an urban forestry group.
No,
here yet.
we don't. And well, Tiffany's on it and she was here last week just to
Yes.
give us, or last month. Whatever,
Yes, it was
2 months
last
ago. So the issue with urban forestry is they've done this big, they've done a big survey and now they're developing a work program and they're trying to figure out how are they going to implement that? Because there was big ideas on how to do it, but there was no, like, who's in charge of it? And they said, oh, we'll just divide it amongst all the departments, right? That'll be free. But, like, public, community development is really more about the permitting and the enforcement. Public works engineering, it's called planning and public works now. Public works engineering is about building streets. And so they're about planting new trees when they redevelop. Parks is in charge of street maintenance, right? And landscape maintenance, which, we have a frozen position. It's been frozen for a year. So, they're in charge of all the landscaping. So typically would that be where that would be? But we'd probably contract for that because there takes some expertise to do that, right?
Yes.
So maybe you contract for that, but we manage that piece of it. So those pockets have been discussed, but there's been no
Okay.
real specific work program or any money except for the studies that they're doing. So
Okay.
it's a work in progress. The city does understands that developing that canopy is important. It's important for lots of different reasons. And so it's a slow and steady process till we get there. And then at some point, the work program level of service will have to all be created. So they still are doing permits. You still have to get a permit. And there's enforcement if you take it out without a permit and you get caught. So, yeah. So that part's already going. So,
Well, and I share that kid right by Washington, by Lakewood Water. They planted those new street trees after the roundabout. There's a couple that have some branches that are broken. I would love to go in and cut and prune, but,
well, we
You-
do have an
we do
adopted
volunteer
spot.
program?
We do have volunteer programs and adopt a spot. So, yeah. So, if you are interested in helping in some way, yeah, we'll let you sign a waiver and you get your gloves on. That'd
Who
be
did
great.
the planting around Walk Hop? Circle back on that.
Oh, we're working with the Pierce County
Conservation.
Conservation.
They have an AmeriCorps volunteer. Janet usually does.
Yeah.
Do you have a list of what they planted or do you know what they put in there?
I have a list,
Do you?
but I have to pull up my email. Yeah.
Would you
We paid
just
for
send
them.
it to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
And where did you get the plants?
They worked with a company out of Gig Harbor, Wood something.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a native plant.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
plant nursery.
But
Yeah,
Brian Mortensen or,
Yeah.
he's
I'll
kind of been our point of
connect you.
contact. So we'll hook you up
Yeah.
with all of them and you.
Yeah, just keeping track of all my options and
Right.
stuff too, because we applied for a big grant for the wildlife area.
Nice.
Do another big planting, I'm hoping.
Is that through No Child Left Outside? Inside?
Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Oh, okay.
I got a couple of good wholesale contacts I can send.
Yeah, I think you and I were talking about.
Yeah, we used the
One
one
time
in
we did
Oregon
some-
that was really good, but I always
Yeah.
look for people who know stuff that can teach me something too.
Right.
The people out at this nursery, Dana's really, really good.
Yeah, I've been out there before.
Okay.
That's where I went the very first
Yeah.
one, sent an Eagle
They've
Scout
got
out
good-
there.
Good material too.
Yeah.
Was someone making a comment? Councilmember Pearson, were you making a comment? I think I heard a voice, but we couldn't see the screen.
Which one?
Oh, I'm good. I just put my comment in. It was just about, both the school board and, council both generally seemed interested in doing something out of the school property, but, it just needs to become a higher priority to actually have anything actionable happen.
Right. I think that's a great time, Councilmember Pearson, as we're working on our legacy plan, which will be starting up and we'll be working on the public engagement piece. I think that's the best time because really having it be a part of like a strategic operation, right? So we can really figure out what are the needs? What are the needs for the school district? What are the needs for the city? What spaces do we have? And then figure out what's the right thing to do there. So,
Right.
I think that that's the time and it's happening now, right? It's coming forward. So that's the great thing. So, but it is nice that you, helped encourage that conversation. And I think it's great that the school was open to that conversation because, that hadn't been what was happening like a year ago. So that's good. We're making progress. So
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
General question.
Mhm.
I was at a group with a group of people last week and they were asking me about the park in downtown. And
Yeah.
I say, okay, what, to my knowledge, there's not a park there right now.
Right.
But they were under the impression that there was a park. And so I thought, I'll check it out.
Yeah,
There is a
so
park
we
yet.
we don't have a downtown park. However, a downtown park has been in our legacy plan and it's in our capital improvement program to start working towards that. So part of it was like, where should we put a downtown park? They talked about, should we do something like over behind Barnes and Noble, which
Right.
isn't necessarily a great place for a downtown park. You're in the backside of a concrete,
Retail.
yeah, retail. Then they talked about maybe there should be something connected to City Hall. Well, okay, but again, you're in a private area versus that. So they've really talked about, where the Colonial Plaza is. We bought the bagel shop, the old bagel shop. So that area is gonna get cleaned up. The QFC, all that area, it's like all the roads go there. It's kind of the center of the community. So you've got Gravelly Lake goes right there, Bridgeport goes through there. There's some other stuff around there. So how might we make use of that area and turn it into a downtown park? So there's been a lot of conversation about that. And there's been a little bit of activity happening in that area. So it's really more of a dream, a plan, but we don't really have anything there except for the Colonial Plaza, which when we close the street off is technically like it's a complete street. It's like an urban park because it's not playgrounds and baseball fields, but it's benches and open spaces and plazas and gatherings. So,
On
Good,
that
I
property,
answered-
There's a couple of the heritage oaks right there too, right?
Yeah.
Part of that property.
mhm.
Oh, good. I answered it
Yeah.
correctly then because I
Yeah.
thought, no, I
Yeah.
don't think there's a.
See, you know what's going on. You're on the board. You visited all those sites, yeah. So it's a work in progress and it's an idea the city's had for quite some time. But when the city incorporated, we are 95% built out. So as you know, most of the work that the city's done over all these years has been redevelopment,
Mm.
right? There wasn't a lot of room for development. So a lot of it's been redevelopment, putting in sidewalks, curb gutter and sidewalk. And then so it's really, if you were just starting from scratch, it's great. We want a park here and a park here and a
Mhm.
park here. But when you're trying to work around stuff that's already established, and quite honestly, a lot of the infrastructure in the city when we incorporated was really old and falling apart. Just trying to redevelop and get things up and going. So
Thank you.
any other big questions since we're kind of on? Well, direct, you got my report.
Yeah.
Reports from board members? No?
Yeah.
All right.
With that being said, we meet again next month, Tuesday, the 25th. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Second, Shelley?
Bye,
All
Nessa.
right.
Happy New Year, everybody.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Bye,
all.
Alex.
Can you-
Happy,
Take one each.
thank you.